and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 5 of the BetRivers TableTalk Podcast presented by PokerNews. I'm Chad Holloway, joined by Keith Becker. Keith, we got an exciting episode. It's finally happened. Phil Hellmuth is on the show.
Yes, let's do it.
I know you just saw him on the East Coast. We're going to talk about that. He was the Grand Marshal at a NASCAR race. I'm going to talk to Phil about that, but we'll get into it as well. You got to play in a tournament that he played in. We're going to get into basically all things Phil Hellmuth. We're going to hear from the man himself, and he's also going to lead us on a tour of his brand new condo in Las Vegas, which was formerly the condo of Elaine Wynn. So I was there. It's pretty nice. So you'll get to see that here. We're going to do a giveaway. We're going to get into a huge winner online, yourself included. You claimed a title from the Summer Warm-Up Series. We'll talk about that. And a big super WSOP experience giveaway that we're going to talk about that BetRivers is going to do. You'll want to stay tuned for that. But Keith, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Recovering from being recently sick, having a daughter, they pass things on to you. So I'm happy that we scheduled the recording for today because I'm back up to being in health again. But yeah, I had a great time. I got to go and play with Phil. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But he's been spending so much time on the East Coast. I think we're ready to steal him from you, claim him as a local out here.
I always say it's better to get sick before the World Series of Poker because if you don't, chances are you're going to get sick during it. We used to call it the Rio crud or the Rio flu, but so I always like to get it out of the way beforehand if possible. Well, let's talk about Phil Hellmuth on the East Coast. He was over there for a bunch of different BetRivers events. There was the BetRivers 200, which was a NASCAR race that he took part in. He posted all about it in social media. We're going to show a highlight video here in a minute. I've never been to a NASCAR race, but it did look like a lot of fun. He got to do the equivalent of the shuffle up and deal, which was the drivers start your engines. You were there. What was it like?
Pretty incredible. Phil is a consummate entertainer, so I think he nailed the start your engines. And I'd never been to a NASCAR race, so even just we were like crossing and carrying like some equipment across as a race was going. And I didn't realize just how loud it gets on the track, and I didn't have ear protection. I walked past about 100 other people with ear protection. I was like, maybe I should be wearing something. But incredibly exciting. It's really cool to watch those guys literally put the pedal to the metal and try to outcompete each other in like the most high stress environment. And I really enjoyed it.
We compiled some of the highlights that Hellmuth shared on his social media. Check it out.
Hey Phil, Travis guys are here with Dover Motor Speedway. We're here to pick you up to be the Grand Marshal for the BetRivers 200 today.
Now what am I supposed to say? Some mild? What do you guys call it?
Drivers, start your engines.
That part I got.
Drivers, start your engines.
I might have another line or two in there.
We'll see. Anything goes.
Shuffle up and deal. Folks, that is loud here. NASCAR weekend at the BetRivers 200. All right, I got my boy Nick. I got my boy Philip. Oh, we got the trophy. I carry this thing around. Okay, they're taking us up to our suite, which is right at the starting line up there, folks. Nick, you're playing in a tournament. Wait, at BetRivers. Oh, BetRivers is everywhere. Got the brace. I got my sister Milestar, Molly Hellmuth, one of the best climate scientists on the planet Earth. And now we're watching the race. We're all behind Denny Hamlin. Go, Denny.
So there you have it, some highlights from Hellmuth as Grand Marshal. Sad note, though, as I talked about with Hellmuth, is it was Kyle Busch. He won the truck race at this particular NASCAR race in Dover and then passed away just a few days ago unexpectedly. I was actually the one who broke that news to Hellmuth when he was doing a photo shoot for BetRivers, and very sad, very sad news.
Yeah.
What was some good news was Hellmuth, also out there on the East Coast, was doing a kind of meet and greet tournament that you got to play in. I love these things. They always come up. BetRivers always comes up with. They have these T-shirts. I'm going to show a little video of this tournament, and then I want you to talk about it, Keith, because I know you were there. Check it out.
Oh, you didn't go in the park?
No, to get to the park. And then I had went around the park.
Hello, folks. Looks like a lot of people for this. This room is completely full, including Jason M.F. White. M.F. White.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Philip.
How you doing?
I mean, it would be nice to have you or Nick or Jay White win this. What's up, Nick?
What's up?
Oh, you got your Run Good. You got your BetRivers.
Not Jay White. We got a last longer bet. We
Oh, you got a last longer bet with Jay White?
Yeah.
So here we are. This place is actually completely full. Little $250 buy-in tournament. I'll be playing $25.50 after. I'm so happy to have my boys with me and Jay White. I think Cantu's somewhere. And hello, Ann. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Special Olympic champion of the world. My sister, A.N.N. Rivers, Philly.
There you have it. Looks like a lot of fun. Keith, was it as fun as I thought it was? Looking from the outside in.
Yeah, the event really popped off. I mean, obviously the Phil Hellmuth effect, but I think they pretty much capped out that room, which is a great proof of concept. I mean, I would personally love to see, I don't know if this is in the works, but I would personally love to see like a full series put on in conjunction with the client at some point. Like, I think there's the desire for it. I think there's the capacity for it. Phil and his sons just really brought a lot of entertainment and a lot of engagement. People were talking about him. I got to play with Brandon Cantu for a while. Didn't really get into the mix with him too much. He was being very aggressive, and so I 3-bet him a couple of times, and he folded just because he was, I think, opening like extremely wide. Yeah, had a great time. From what I understand, both Phil's sons, cash made it into like the top 20 in the event, and they had a last longer bet. So I think I think Phil III knocked out Nick with 3-5 to his 3-6 or something like that, all in pre, because he was just trying to knock out his brother and win the last longer.
That's great. A lot of fun. I know the players out there on the East Coast really enjoy those sort of things, and Hellmuth doing his part to be a good ambassador. He actually was doing his part here in Vegas. I flew out the same day he did from Wisconsin. He was there visiting his folks. We both got to Vegas at the same time, and then the following day, I was welcomed to attend a photo shoot that he did alongside Phil Galfond. So this was a big all-day-long photo shoot that BetRivers had arranged so they can get new videos, new headshots, new promo photos. I think Hellmuth tweeted one of him in a basketball pose dunking. It was actually a lot of fun. I got to hang out with both of those guys and took some footage, took a few pictures. We were very much flies on the wall, but that was a very fun experience for me, and just to see how kind of the inner workings of BetRivers. Jesse Wilkie, who of course was our guest last month, was there. If you haven't checked out that episode, I highly recommend it. He's the man behind the marketing genius at BetRivers. So, all right, one thing with Hellmuth that I got to do in Las Vegas, aside from the photo shoot, was a tour of his condo, led by him personally. Karina Jett was also there. And then we sat down for a one-on-one interview for this very show. I think it would be good to just run them back to back. Here you go. Chad Holloway here at Howard Hughes Parkway in Las Vegas with Karina Jett. I'll say realtor to the stars, to the poker stars at least.
All right, I'll take it.
You closed a big deal here recently with a big name poker pro.
Yes, Phil Hellmuth. Let's go check it out.
All right.
Chad, welcome, Chad. How are you?
Phil, thank you. Finally making this happen.
All right. Karina, you're going to help show us around, or
Yeah,
what?
I got to see this place.
So I like you walk right into this room.
Grand entrance.
Yeah, this is something.
Wifey's coming in tonight. She wanted to change some stuff, and I'm like, not this room, honey, please. And I said, look, if you want to change a lot of stuff, then make sure you're staying here more than 3 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Which she agreed to. My wife's amazing. She's been putting up with me for 37 years. This is where I sleep, yes. It's a very big bedroom, big size. By the way, the windows are incredibly solid. That's the first thing I noticed. You can't hear anything in here. And traffic's a block away, but you can't hear anything.
Right.
And this is my bathroom, which I just love. I mean, it's just really well done, I think. I have a big closet.
It's a very Phil Hellmuth-esque closet with BetRivers. You got your jerseys.
Bunch of
your
Under Armour
hats.
stuff here.
Yeah.
So here we go. This is we're still in the master suite here. Now we're gonna see Kathy's. You can see it's a little more oriented with a chair, right? Like, I don't know, they'll cancel me if I say women versus men, but I will say this: men don't usually sit down in the bathroom. We throw our and
Only
leave.
for one reason, most of the time.
Right. And here's Kat's closet.
This is arguably the most impressive closet I've ever seen.
It really is a beautiful closet. I mean, this is all Elaine Wynn. So everything, I feel like everything is just done well here from bottom to top.
And now we get to see, well, right here, the office.
Study.
This is the study, yeah.
I call this the office, study, whatever. Wifey's a doctor at Stanford, and so she'll come down, it's like 7 different trips over a few months, but I could see her just sitting here finishing her work. She has her own study. There'll be nobody in here except her and I. Wait, we didn't show this yet, did we?
No, not yet.
Okay, here we go.
Show us. Gosh.
This was actually a room.
Dream Design did it.
This was her room.
She had this as another closet.
This was a closet for Elaine Wynn.
This is massive. She literally had a shoe tower, 2 shoe towers that went the length of the room.
Wow. Now we're gonna get to see the kitchen area, which I know is where the good view is.
Oh no, we got to see the golden
Oh,
bathroom.
the golden bathroom.
Yeah, the golden bathroom.
This is,
Welcome.
yeah, I can see why.
Welcome to the golden bathroom.
I like it.
We just pulled this out of the mothballs here. I like it. And there's a
Fireplace.
So tonight they gave me a clicker for the fireplace. Click and it's on.
And that fireplace is on the other side too, right?
Yeah, there's
That's
a fire.
all, yeah.
There's clickers for both sides, and it's just nice out here. It's.
The last time I seen you at a balcony overlooking a swimming pool and tennis courts.
I had my shirt off.
Yep, on the ESPN clip.
ESPN's coming back to poker.
That's right.
To me, this is the winning view right here.
I
This
mean,
is the sphere.
is there a,
What I like is when they do planet mode. So they'll show the surface of Mercury. They'll show the surface of Venus. Planet mode's pretty cool. So the first time I stayed here, I spent 2 hours at night just staring at the sphere. How could you not? And look, that guitar is being slowly raised over there too. So
this is a heck of a view.
So I kind of like to just sit right here and then watch. Tonight there's an NBA game, but tonight we have Founders Conference. I can't watch Wemby play, but the minute Founders Conference is over, I'm going to go look at the highlights because I want to see what Wemby does tonight. And then we have a little bath,
Laundry room.
laundry room.
Yeah, you gotta always have a laundry room.
As big as that other one was, this is small. And I'll just show you this. Pretty interesting. Because no one could tell me what this was.
I cannot tell you what that is. Do you know now?
Well, I think it comes down and you can maybe hang shirts on. I still haven't figured it out.
Huh.
So weird.
Somebody watching the video probably knows what that is.
Yeah.
Well, Phil, I appreciate you giving us the tour. I know you got a busy night with the Founders Club, and you got the World Series of Poker starting here in a few days. Is bracelet number 18 coming?
Founders Summit.
Founders Summit.
I'm looking forward to it. My parents are going to fly out here. My dad's 88, and he's been struggling a little bit, some health stuff I don't want to talk about because he doesn't give me permission.
Sure.
But they're flying out here, so they're going to spend, and I've won half my bracelets when they're in town. It's like their mind, like everybody at home wants to impress their parents. And when they're here, it's like my mind knows, and I don't know, maybe I'm luckier when they're around, but I definitely, but they've also seen a lot of final tables.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, was your dad was there for your first one, the main event.
He was there in 1989.
You rented a private jet to fly back, if I know the story correctly.
I did. That's right.
Yeah.
Good
Awesome.
memory.
Yeah. Well,
right,
I'm excited, Phil. Good luck. I've been there for the last 5 of your bracelets. I hope to be there for the 6 in a row. All right, Chad Holloway here at a place I've wanted to be with a person I've wanted since we started the show. It was only natural to have you on the BetRivers show. Mr. Phil Hellmuth, days before the World Series of Poker. Thank you for welcoming me here in the audience as well.
BetRivers, yes, and like right now, you caught me. Literally, the Founder Summit officially starts in like 20 minutes, so I've invited all of my founders. There's a golden one on the back.
Yeah.
Should I show the back?
If you want to.
Sure, quickly. Sure, quickly.
This is because
Can you see it?
It's a one for, I don't know if they can see
First
it, but
one,
there's a
first
big
one.
golden one on the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll show it.
There we go. You can see it.
Yeah, no big deal, folks. But, just to get it right, we got it right. Okay, so it's a Founder Summit. So I am now a advisor for 44 companies. I'm a general partner in 4 different funds, including a $500 million fund, $100 million. So the business, and then I'm also a general partner in SPACs. So you have a SPAC SPKL floating on the NASDAQ. This is not investment advice. And I'll be a partner. So my life is incredibly, insanely busy between all of that. And then, but it's also nice to press the pause button on the business. So the one thing's written into every contract that I have is no one can text me during the World Series of Poker, email me, or bother me. Now, those years where I've gone into the World Series and I'm still thinking about closing a business deal, I just don't do as well. And I was talking to Phil Hellmuth. He said the same thing. He's like, man, when I'm thinking about business, I just can't. So I clear it all out. Tell all my founders, look, this is the World Series. You need me to win more bracelets. I'll get more fame. You'll get more fame. Everybody makes more money. And so that's kind of the deal I have in place. So for me, laying down all the business stuff and just completely focusing on poker and winning bracelets and playing great every day is kind of a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I know that's why we're doing the interview before the WSOP, because you like to focus up. I know you had the photo shoot with Phil Hellmuth, BetRivers. That was a lot of fun. We were there for that as well. So let me ask, is bracelet 18 coming? It's on the side of your hat right now. It's the prediction must be there. And I've been there for the last 5, numbers 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, maybe the last 6. I want to see another one. It's always fun.
So one time I decided, all right, look, what am I doing? I need to have hats with the next bracelet number. So I have 17. So maybe it was bracelet 13. I'm like, let's have a 14 made. And they arrived, and I said, let's have a 15 made. And I put the 14 on, and I won it within a week.
Yeah.
So that hasn't necessarily worked as well. I wore the 18 a lot last year. I didn't win a bracelet. But, I think I'm going to win 24 bracelets in my life. Kind of had a vision. I don't know, maybe you could call it a vision. I just felt like it's a number that popped into my head back in 1993 after I won 3 in 1 year. You're going to win 24. You're going to win 24. And most of the long-term visions I've had have come to pass. Another one is about 2 years ago, I realized that I'm going to become a billionaire. And I said, well, I'm a long way from that. And I was like, okay, it's going to happen. But I'm not trying, And now with Valor Atomics, it could happen a lot sooner than even I could have imagined.
I mean, you're certainly doing a lot in the business realm. Like you said, the Founders Summit, and you have this Billionaires game that you play in. And I've met a few of them. You've been kind enough to introduce me, but the people you run with, it certainly seems like you're on a trajectory to get there. But how did it start? How did you get an invite to the Billionaires game? How did you get your foot in the door? What's the genesis of that?
I love this. Is a good story. Yeah. So I was staying at the Aria, and there was a restaurant, not Masa, something, Bar Masa. That's it. It was Bar Masa. And I was eating with my parents, my sons, and my wife. Let's say 2008. And these guys come up to me. Turned out it was Chamath Palihapitiya, Dave Goldberg, may he rest in peace, Sheryl Sandberg, who was the most famous businesswoman in the world. 5 of them or 6 of them. And they said, oh, hey, Phil, here's a pair, Chamath, here's a pair of lucky socks, Phil. I always tease him. He likes that. And here's a pair of lucky socks, Phil. And we play poker at Palo. And I said, all right, great, let's connect. And they had a very small game, 5 or 5-10. And, and they were right in my neighborhood. So I went to play a couple times, and I was like, oh, it's so painful playing stakes that are irrelevant.
Sure.
But I started liking the group more and more. And then Chamath and I had a rivalry, I thought I'd never catch him because he was up 28,000 the game. I was down 14, and we were kind of tracking it, And then who knew that was just the tiny end of it? And then so, these became my best friends, Chamath and Billy and, Gurley plays in the game. We have just all these wonderful people. Jason Kalkanis can be a pain in the ass. David Friedberg, David Sachs, all the people from the All In podcast, they started at the table, basically. And so yeah, just I found this incredible group of friends, and we became closer and closer. And then I didn't know that they were going to billionize.
Right.
So the stakes went way up. So it went from 5-10. I remember we went to 25-50. And when we went to 25-50, I won like 300,000. And we pay at the end of the year. I'm like, whoa. And then they went to 100, 200. And I won $1 million in 1 year. And then they're like, Phil was they call it the long con. Phil's long con started hanging out with us just in case we played super high stakes later. So they started joking about the long con. Of course, nobody thought it was that, but it was their way of, and you can see what everybody won every year because we have books and we pay at the end of the year.
Sure.
And so, but if I would have lost money in that game, I made all my best friends. And I just to be hanging out with them, to be with them, and I love them, they love me, and it's really nice to have a close group of friends. And I probably didn't understand how important that was.
Yeah. This, of course, is the BetRivers TableTalk Podcast. So let's talk some BetRivers. You were just out on the East Coast, had some great adventures. I think you had a tournament that you played at Rivers, and you went to the BetRivers 200, the NASCAR race, and got to give the equivalent of the shuffle up and deal there.
I did. That was fun. I thought about what I would say it was no big deal. All right, Phil, you're going to be the Grand Marshal, which means I start the race. And then I started thinking, I don't want to screw this up. It's live on television. And then I'm like, oh shit, I better put a little time and effort. So I came up with this. In my profession, we say shuffle up and deal. But here at the BetRivers 200 NASCAR weekend, we say drivers, start your engines. And I kind of shout it and walk towards the camera. And I think my wife maybe recorded it, but there's so many moments that I've never seen myself on television. Probably will never watch that, but I did see my sons were recording it for me. So it was kind of fun to do that.
Well, I know an amazing opportunity for players was an opportunity to play with you in a low stakes tournament. I actually seen on one of your posts on social media because I was jealous. I'm like, I want one of those. There were a T-shirt that they gave away to the players with your face on it. It looked pretty cool. But talk to me a little bit about playing in that event with your sons, but more importantly, interacting with these players who look up to you and know you through poker.
It's important, and BetRivers is an online site, and not to be confused with Rivers Casino. So
right.
You have the physical and you have the online. It's a $6.5 billion company, this one. But they have a great partnership in the physical with their partners. And so they're like, okay, we want to make sure things are going smoothly. Let's get Phil there. And so me showing up, I think, has helped. They were getting along just fine, but now they're getting along really well because they send me there a couple times a year. And then, my job is basically to play with so what I do is say, look, clear every 5 seat out, and me and my sons will rotate around. And then I'll ask, Robbie Bell from BetRivers, like, Robbie, every 10 minutes, move us. And, there's like 23 tables, so every 10 minutes, that's still 4 hours of playing. And that way they get to play with my sons. And probably the thing that makes me the happiest, it's really nice to connect with real people in the real world, but makes me happiest when I see social media reports later that they loved my sons. Yeah.
Who is one player that hasn't played on Hellmuth's home game that you would like to get on and extend that invitation to and come play?
I don't know if there's any one player. I mean, most everybody said yes.
Right.
Daniel quit playing the cash games, he announced. So I don't really know who I would want. I think I'd probably want a celebrity.
Yeah.
I really like Nelly a lot. I can text Nelly and ask him if he wants to come and play, but Mike Phelps, he said he might come on sometime. And so probably a celebrity.
Yeah,
okay, my number one would be Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, I mean, there's rumors because him and Kylie Jenner, they do play poker a little bit, so.
Yeah, I mean, I was at Formula One and we're at the finish line. Imagine this, finish line Formula One with the All In podcast, and we're playing high stakes poker. And then Travis texts me. He started this company called Uber. He's like, I want to come and sit in the game. And we're like, we love TK. So he comes and he sits down on my left. And then Chalamet texts me. He's like, Phil, I want to come play. I'm like, done, come and play. So then Timmy shows up. And then Tony Robbins texts me, hey, I want to come say hello. Because it got around playing high stakes poker at the finish line of a Formula One race had never been done before.
Right.
And so it spread like wildfire. These guys, and we weren't really watching the race, to be fair. We were playing poker and watching some of the race, but anyway, so Chalamet would probably be, but then Chamath and the whole crew, they were filming it, which I'm not sure that my Mr. Chalamet liked very much. And then they released some of the video, and they made fun of me. They made me look like some straggler. Like, oh, look, Phil awkwardly hugging Chalamet. Oh, he's groping him, all this bullshit. They were making, but it pissed me off. I'm like, you guys are being paid millions of dollars to be here. I brought fucking Chalamet, Travis, and Tony fucking Robbins, and you're going to treat me like that? And I got really mad, and I said, look, don't call me again. Chamath's my best friend. And he was very concerned, and I said, look, Chamath, you don't want to lose me as a friend. Because you lose me as a friend, like, a lot of people work for him, and he has some good friends, but I'm the one that will tell him the truth. Like,
Yeah.
We need our besties. And so, Chamath called me and said, hey, look, I'm sending you a copy of what we just did. And they spent the first 7 minutes on the All In podcast, which is like the #1 podcast in the world for business, praising me and saying nice stuff. And Chamath said, Phil's my best friend. I have to admit it here in public. And I'm like, all right, you're off the hook.
#1 podcast for now, the BetRivers TableTalk Podcast is working our way up. But I don't want to take up too much of more of your time, Phil, because I know you do have the Founder Summit. You have some waiting in the other room. We're very excited to follow you through the World Series of Poker this summer and hopefully get bracelet number 18. We'll be there. It would be great for the podcast. And definitely we'll want you on the show again, if you'll be kind enough, and maybe at Hellmuth's home game, because I think I'm going to try to come up to Reno and do an episode up there.
You should definitely do that.
Yeah. Cool. Good
Plus,
luck.
if you do an episode up there, you'll get me and some of the other players.
Absolutely. Let's make it happen. Thanks,
And
Phil.
by the way, event entrance coming. I'm dressed as Superman, but in the black Superman.
I want to be involved somehow, some way. I'm a comic book geek, hardcore. I like this idea.
My son Nick, Batman. Philip, Green Lantern.
Okay.
Jungle Man's talking about Captain America, maybe.
Okay. Well, that's DC and Marvel. We're getting cross-wired here.
Yeah. But what can you do?
I can help with that. I'm Chad Holloway. Phil Hellmuth. Thank you again, my friend.
Chad's following me around. We were in Wisconsin together 2 days ago. Yesterday he was at the photo shoot with me, and now he's in my own place. I can't get rid of this guy, but I don't want to. Everybody loves Chad.
I appreciate it, Phil. Thanks again. All right, there you have it. My interview with Phil Hellmuth. It won't be the last time on the show, but it was the first time, and I thought it was good. I hope you liked his condo, and we look forward to catching up with him at the 2026 World Series of Poker. Keith, I want to catch up with you about the BetRivers Poker Summer Warm-Up Series that is in the books. It ran May 3rd through the 17th. Buy-ins were $10 up to $500. They awarded more than $500,000 in prize money across dozens of events, and one of those titles went to you.
Yes, I was able to claim a title in the $50 Friday Frenzy. It was a great experience. These kind of runs are rare, but I got the chip lead somewhere with like 2 tables left, and basically went like all the way through with the chip lead the whole way from definitely from the final table. I did not have the chip lead for even one hand. Just wire to wire, and just felt like I couldn't lose. I was doing everything right. Plus the cards were helping. Just a great experience. I might frame that screenshot.
Do you were you streaming it? Do you have some clips for us?
I was streaming it. I think I have a clip of the win that I can share, and I think I shared a screenshot with you as well.
Let's show that clip right now.
Hold the King 7 for the trophy victory, please. No, get there. King. Yes. Yes. $50 Friday Frenzy. Oh man, I've been running so bad. It's so good. It feels so good. Oh my gosh. So many coolers and setups and dominating hands, losing to the undercard hands have led us to this point. Let's go.
All right, that was a cool clip, Keith, but I got a cool clip of my own to show from an SNG cubed where one lucky player hit a 1,500 multiplier on a $10 SNG. It means a cool $15,000. Check it out. right, we are back to talk about some more fun promos and giveaways. We'll do the giveaways last. Let's talk about some of these promos, Keith. I know May is winding down here, but there's still time left for players to take advantage of some pretty cool promotions.
Yeah, there's some crazy ones going on right now. Specifically for cash game players, there's a daily double promotion, which is it's a 2-hour window twice a day, and you can get 20% rake back as a fast clearing poker bonus. So when they say fast clearing, this clears extremely fast. The fastest I've ever seen bonus clear on like any rewards site. So yeah, you're in 20 poker bonus equal to 20% of eligible rake generated during the windows, which are midnight to 2 a.m. and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So they're targeting players getting in there at prime time and then getting in there late at night. You don't have to opt in. It's calculated daily, and even if you just play a little bit, starts at $1.
Yeah.
So easy to clear, easy to get.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know they're doing that twice a day. With something they're doing twice per week are these cash game leaderboards. I think it's the Run It Twice leaderboards that give players a chance to compete for over $13,000 in weekly poker bonuses. That's pretty sweet too. I wish that's something I could take advantage of.
Yeah, so the leaderboards, previously I think they just had one weekly leaderboard. Now they have a leaderboard for weekdays and a leaderboard for weekends, which I think is really cool because it super benefits like the recreationals who maybe can only really put in the serious grind on the weekend if you have a standard like 8 to 5, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday job. It really benefits both like sort of categories of players in that way.
I already mentioned the double glitch S&G cubed, the big winner that we just featured, but that is still going on. You can hit a glitch prize, and BetRivers matches your daily glitch prize total in S&G tickets up to $25 a day. That's going through the end of May as well. You can go to poker promos for double glitch details and cubed prize information. Definitely check those out. And then there's a priority satellite pass. Satellites obviously very popular, especially this time of year. You know, a lot of players have to satellite their way into the big one here in Vegas, but there are also a lot of satellites on BetRivers.
Yeah, it's great. It gives benefit to registering early, right? Like there's a lot of things we said for registering late, but getting tournaments really started and going and getting people interested in playing early. BetRivers is sort of targeting that, getting the numbers up early so people see that, oh, this is getting a lot of players. I want to get in here. I want to get in with these like maybe players who are a little bit more casual, recreational, lower skill level while it's early. And if you pre-register, yeah, you're eligible for a $5 plus MTT. So you get a satellite ticket worth 10% of the tournament buy-in. So it scales to your buy-in as well.
Something else you should put on your radar, we don't have details yet, but they're coming down the pipeline, is keep your eyes open for upcoming World Soccer Tournament promotions tied to this summer's big events. I don't know what they're going to be, but I know BetRivers Poker is getting ready for this big soccer event this summer. They're going to do some special things. Again, don't know exactly what yet, but definitely keep an eye on that. But I do have some giveaway information. Now, last episode, we announced that we were going to do a giveaway for a care package from BetRivers. All you had to do was leave us a review on either Spotify or Apple. Here's the rub. I went on this morning to try to choose a winner, but it wasn't allowing me to see the reviews. So I don't know what's going on. I couldn't choose a winner in time. So I'm just going to double down on this. Here's what we're going to do is extend the giveaway through this episode, but also double the prize. So now we will give away 2 BetRivers care packages. All you got to do is leave us a review on either Spotify or Apple, preferably a 5-star review, and you'll be entered to win. I'll randomly choose 2 winners next week, and I'll actually add to that care package with some signed Phil Hellmuth memorabilia. I don't know if it will be a playing card, a book, or something, but we'll sweeten the deal since this is the Phil Hellmuth episode. I think that's a fair compromise, Keith.
I think that's more than fair, Chad.
And if winning a signed book or playing card isn't enough for your Phil Hellmuth experience, I got a better one for you because BetRivers is doing a very awesome giveaway. It's going to be a Phil Hellmuth WSOP main event social giveaway. They're going to run a social sweepstakes for a chance to win a trip to Las Vegas to join Phil Hellmuth for one of his famous or maybe infamous WSOP main event entrances, right? Like he gets all decked out in some sort of gimmick costume. One lucky winner is going to be able to come out, hang out with Phil, and be part of whatever he's going to do this year. That sounds like a great prize in one regard, but it also sounds like a fantasy football punishment in another.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Hellmuth's entrances are one of the tent pole events of the WSOP. You know, some people will, cover their eyes and cringe at them. Some people will stand up and applaud for them. But no matter what, he makes it an event, and you can't deny that it is a big part of the WSOP every year. And a pretty cool opportunity to just be in on that from the inside.
This is going to really be a dream poker fan experience. If you like Phil Hellmuth, getting to do this with him is going to be amazing. We will have an article on Poker News once we have all the details. You also want to make sure that you follow the official BetRivers Poker social media channels. Don't miss the giveaway post that they're going to do, and we'll continue to push this, promote it. I think the sweepstakes is going to run now through June 18th. Obviously, they need to choose a winner well in advance of the main event so that they have time to get there to Vegas. And I don't know what he's going to do. I have hung out with Phil, obviously, the last week or so. I've heard there might be some... I'm a comic book geek, Keith. You've seen my pictures of my comic book room. And I've heard that there might be some sort of comic book tie-in, which does get me excited. But I also know Phil; he might change his mind like that.
Okay.
So
I feel like Phil. I don't want to delve into potential spoiler territories, but I feel like if it's Phil and his comic books, I can't imagine him not being Superman. I can't imagine him choosing another superhero for himself, to be quite honest. but maybe he'll surprise me. Phil is surprising sometimes.
I would be hard pressed to argue against that, right? Like, yeah, I think you're probably right on that. We'll have to wait and see. I'll try to get the lowdown this summer in advance, and maybe we can share that. But I'd look forward to whoever wins this giveaway for the ultimate WSOP experience with Phil Hellmuth. It gets to be a part of his main event entrance. Again, I will have links in the show notes and an article on PokerNews.com. Keith, I think that's going to do it for this 5th episode. It's been a good one. We've wanted Phil Hellmuth on since the get-go, and we finally got him.
Yeah. Definitely glad to have him. Makes the episode, this episode, an event in and of itself. So thank you, Phil, for coming on, and thanks, Chad, for having me.
Yeah, I'm going to see you out here in Las Vegas. The 2026 World Series of Poker is just getting underway. We will do a episode in June. I imagine it will be a little bit of a quieter month when it comes to online stuff because a lot of stuff happens at the WSOP, but that's a good opportunity for us to be together in person. We'll film some stuff from the WSOP. I think Dr. Dad is coming out at some point. We might catch up with Dan Schill and some other stuff. We'll find some other really fun stuff. And I did ask Phil Galfond if he's going to play a little bit this summer. Didn't sound like he's going to play a lot, but I have a sneaking suspicion we might see him once or twice at the WSOP. And if we do, definitely try to catch up with him.
Great. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing you and Dan and everyone else out there at the biggest live event of poker.
There you go. Do us a favor, like, subscribe, give us that 5-star review. Remember, if you do review us, you're going to be entered into our giveaway for one of 2 BetRivers Poker Care Packages. I am Chad Holloway, Keith Becker. We will be back next week with a brand new episode of the BetRivers Poker Table Talk Podcast presented by Poker News, and we'll see you then.